Okay, we're doing another video here. This is kind of part two of blogging, and what we're going to talk about here is how to create or set up your page a little bit and start actually blogging. So again, we're going to look at what our HoPE page looks like. We can change all this stuff, and we'll do some videos about that. But let's get into the specifics of how to blog. So if you go up here, and again, if you can hover over HoPE and you go to the dashboard, you can go to New. And for New, again, there's really a couple things that you're going to want to do most of. You're going to post, or you're going to create a new page. Now, again, the difference between the two is that the post is the one you're going to do the most, because that's the one that is really that rolling article, if you want to call it that, that you'll be updating along the way, and that's going to be the main guts of your main page. So when someone comes to your page, that's what they're going to see, and they're going to be able to navigate through here. So I'm going to do a post. We're going to call it school, or let's call it something else. Let's call it creativity in schools. That's what we want to talk about. And again, this looks pretty standard for what you're used to. A very basic ribbon across the top that has some very basic things to it. So for instance, it's got bold. So you can type. Now there's two tabs here. There's visual and there's text. Now visual is the one you want, because text is if you were going to actually write code, and that's very difficult to do, but I will show you why you're going to use it in a minute. But for visual, this is where it basically, what the site is doing here is taking and converting anything you type and turning it into code so it appears as a rich web page, and it sets it up, it formats it, it puts it in the proper size and the proper location, all those sorts of things, so that it fits in the theme that you've chosen, and the theme being the basic layout of the web page. So here you could write like you would in any Word program. So you might say, Sir Ken Robinson has wondered what has happened to creativity in schools. So at this point, you may want to include a picture of Sir Ken Robinson. So what we can do here is I've opened up a browser, and I'm going to just pick that, and I'm going to put in my Google search, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes up here, and any number of these things would work. And let's just say Ken Robinson picture. Let's choose this one. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go to a different Google. A more standard one is what we want. And we can click on images, and then it'll come a whole bunch of images of Ken Robinson. And let's do one where he's looking interesting. And I'm in Chrome right now. I'm in Google Chrome. So if you right-click on this picture, you can copy the image URL. And this means you're not copying the actual image. You're just copying the link. And that's good, because that keeps you're not violating copyright. So if you're going to put a picture and you're going to add media, and there's a bunch of different ways you could insert it. You could search your own files to see if you had a picture yourself. You could insert it from a tweet, which is really cool. You could insert a YouTube picture or whatever. And here is insert from URL, which means basically that URL, the link to that picture, I've just put in, it automatically pops it up, insert into post, and there it is. So it's right there. If you're using Explorer like I am, you can resize that picture, and you're ready to go. So there's a picture. So there's how you might want to insert a picture, and that looks so much better. Again, it just makes things a whole lot easier to view. So let's just take a preview of what this looks like. And it's going to open it up in a new window so you can see. And right now, you're going to see your blog in a second. And you see there we have our basic structure again. And now there's your um, text, and there's that picture that you had before. So that's all very good. Now we want to add some more stuff to it. So you can, what you could do is even do something, remembering that people may not know who Ken Robinson is. So let's go back to this, and we're going to go back to the web, and we're going to find, uh, well, there it is, Ken Robinson's profile on TED. So this is a great site. Again, I can do that. I can right click and copy that link. And now I'm going to go back. And what I want to do is be able to say that someone could, if they were reading my blog and didn't know who Ken Robinson was, they could click on his name and find that link. So what we're going to do is highlight his name, and you'll notice right here, insert or edit a link. So it looks like a chain link or a band-aid, I suppose. So right now I'm going to just paste in what I saw. I'm going to add that link. And now you'll see it's blue. And that means that that's a hot link now. So again, if someone's reading my blog, they'll see that and be able to click on his name and go to this site. What else can we do? To really engage someone, you could add video. Now this is a little bit more complicated, so let's follow through. So I've gone to YouTube, and YouTube's always the best one to use for WordPress. Some of the other video sites are a little funky depending on what you're using, but YouTube is always fine for WordPress. So if you find a video, and this is this famous TED Talk for Ken Robinson, and it's Do Schools Kill Creativity. So what you want to do is you want to scroll down, and if you want to be able to take that video, now you could just take this link and post it right in there, and then people would be able to click on that link and go somewhere. But the problem is that would have them leave your page to come here to YouTube. And the problem with YouTube is all these other videos, and eventually they'll forget that you even existed, and your blog is gone. You're not even going to be remembered. What you want to be able to do is show this video inside of your blog, and there's an incredibly simple way to do that. If you scroll down to the bottom here, there's a bunch of little tabs down here, and you want to click Share. If you click Share, what this will do is a few things. You could, from here, this is the link, a shortened link, that you could use and send that off to people. And there's a bunch of different ways that you could send that. You could share it through Twitter and all these sorts of things. You could email this link. So what it will say is, put in the email address, and then it will send in, and since I've already signed in as myself, it'll say, show the video to you, and you could send it to somebody. But what you want to use is this embed. And so what the embed is embed creates a code. This is computer programming right here. This is code, these lines here. I don't know what they mean, but I know they work. And what this will allow you to do is put this video right into your website. What you want to do, though, is check down here. You want to make sure that this is not checked. Sometimes it's checked automatically, sometimes it isn't. Show suggested videos when the video finishes. What happens in a YouTube video, if that is checked, what it will do is, when the video finishes, up will come suggested other videos that are like that. I wouldn't do it because you never know what YouTube's going to suggest. You can also change the size here. We're going to go with a pretty standard 40 by 360. So what you want to do is, again, just highlight the whole thing, right-click it, copy that, and now you're going to go to your post, and in here, this is where you're going to use that other button that I talked about, text. If you click on text, now you'll notice that all of that stuff I put in there, including the picture, is all in code. This is all the computer programming coding that will allow that stuff to appear. So what you want to do now is go to the very bottom, where you ever want to place it, and right-click and paste in just what we had before. That is your embed code that's right there. If you go back to visual, you'll see that there's this yellow box that's in there. And this is the video. This is it. So what you can do is just go preview it again. We're going to preview it just to see what it looks like. And you'll notice that now, there it is. The video is sitting right there. So you can play the video right within your blog. Fantastic, right? Amazing. This is so much more engaging. You can put that in as an example, and then you could, write something about it. An amazing way to really bring multimedia into your blog. And again, the key to this is It's not just a link that sends them somewhere else. They're viewing it in there and staying in your blog. Very, very important. A huge thing to do. Um, so that's just how you create that blog post, and with some of the details. Remember the difference between visual and text. You're going to be working in visual almost all the time. The only time you go to text is when you want to drop that embed code in there. And that's it.